Good morning there, backyarders. Alright, what we're doing today is I'm going to show you how to make grills, for your own self, alright, backyarder style. So, no press, no nothing, because I don't have one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it old school way. So this is a sample piece that I made, right? And so this is the inner, this is going to be your inner jig, okay? So what I've done is I put a heavy radius on it, and the idea is that I want to have it look very similar to like a factory. The way that this truck is, everything is to be kind of like a factory-ish look. A little bit not, this middle section here, you can see how it divots in right here. That's created, by this area right here, which I'll show you how that's done a little bit. But for right now, the main goal is to hammer out the outside perimeter. So the top side will be flat for the time being. Okay, so what we're going to need is we're going to need the jig. Also, the original template this is the template piece. This is for the grill that goes on there, and of course, obviously, that's so that I can make sure that my sizes are correct. Also, you can see here where these two tweeters are. What I'm doing is I'm filling this area here that's open around the tweeter, because this grill has to fit over the tweeter, so that's actually wider than the diameter of the tweeter. So I just want to hide this area right here just to make it look good. So you have to hammer this out flat, cut it off straight, and then put out your numbers here. Now luckily I happen to have all my numbers, so I know wherever this center is, and then you have to do some loving and adjust it just ever so slightly. So that's all we have to do right now. So first things first, we're going to take our orientation. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to make sure that the grill orientation is correct, because in this case this is a diamond pattern, and this is 1/2 mil thick, so it's very, very thin. The reason why I'm using this, because it's easy to press. Okay, and this is a steel, not an aluminum, this is a steel, but it being at a 1/2 millimeter thick, I'm able to make it very easily. But I have to add this shape in here to add rigidity to this surface here, otherwise you could just push this in. So with that rigidity, you can see that now the midsection won't move, and that just has to do with the shape itself. So on to the hammering. So first things first, orientation. So I'm going to have this is going to be going forward, backwards. Now realistically, why I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't need to have orientation, but I'm doing this only because I want to remember that when I go to cut this line, okay, this square line right here, that's where the orientation is. So I've just put it in my head, okay, orientation, orientation, orientation. So the outside jig is just slightly larger than the actual thickness. It's about 1 mil in terms of it. And so basically the rule here is that we want to get in, and I like to get it close to what I consider as center, right? And then I'm going to lead off by these two ends, because the diamonds are running this way. What it is that this is going to be the harder section to stretch. The side here, where the diamonds are elongated this way, it'll stretch real easy, but for here, where the diamonds are also elongated this way, it's going to be really hard to stretch it that way. So, and you'll see, you'll watch it gather real heavy on top and bottom, a little bit of gathering over here. It depends on how we hammer it. Oh, and by the way, 2.5 pound is your best friend right now. So the idea first is you want to work your way around like this. Yes, don't hit your damn hand. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way around in a progressive manner. Now, of course, this obviously would be a hell of a lot easier if I had a press. I could just press this out, but I don't. So I'm going to keep hammering. Now, I've got myself on a nice, good, solid piece of concrete. And the best part about this is I'll be able to hear it. Now, as you can see here, you see how see how these stretches are pulling really hard in these areas, but over here, it's not as bad. So, and that just has to do with gathering. It's the same phenomenon when you do when you're wrapping vinyl. Exactly the same thing, no different. All right, so you just also have to know your material. You have to know how much you can pull or stretch, because I can stretch this to a certain point and then it'll just break. Because obviously I'm stretching it too far for the material itself. So now I'm gonna. Now you hear how it changes the pitch. Watch. Let's listen. See, it's hollowish now, but when I get it down to the ground, you can hear it hit the concrete. And that's when you know you've gotten home. So now I'm going to work my way around. And this side's still up. Alright, pull it off. Now we've got ourselves, it's all the way flat, so we're just going to pop it off like that. And now I have a pressed grill. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it really is. Now I've got to do a whole bunch of other things, which I will show you in a little bit. I'll show you how I do this piece here. But I still got to cut it out in the straight line here. I also have to cut the diameter out, and I have to put a series of holes in it because this is being held in with the screws that are holding the speaker on, because of the way the grilling is, because this is a surface, you know, this just flush bounce on top, and so I don't want to orientate this, but you see these lines I have here? So this gives me lines in terms of, so I orientate the diamond pattern straight with that line and that line, right? And then I've got these side lines here which indicate me, you know, where my line is here, and so I'll make sure that the diamond's running this way, the line is the same across. Plus I'll use this as a reference. I'll draw a line there, and I'll take a bandsaw and I'll just cut this off. So I'll cut this out with a bandsaw, and then I'll cut it off right there, and then I'll put in these, and then a series of holes, and then put the centerpiece in. And I'll show you that in a wee bit. Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to show you one more time. That's how we do this. So got the jig out. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this. I've already done all the other stuff off camera. Just didn't want to show it to you. It's just boring. So I'm not going to press this. I'm going to hand finish this. So basically, what I have to first do is to reduce the size a little bit. Get close. And I do this because I can stretch the metal better this way than doing it through a jig, which then you're not 100% sure of exactly what your size is going to be in terms of the stretch. You might be too far and then you pop it right off. So I do this by hand, and I use two tools. Basically, this is yes, you can guess what this is. Well, all right, for the old guys, they know what this is. Young guys wouldn't know what the hell this is if they tried. So, and I'll leave the comments down below. So, I'm going to quickly form to shape. And what I've done is that the reason why I'm using this tool is that the radius, not the radius, but the diameter of this happens to be just the right one for what I'm doing. And so, a little bit of hand love. And I like aluminum because aluminum gives before the steel. And I could put oil on this if I wanted to, but that makes sense too at this point. But there you go. One, press grill. And now it'll fit, in here. And like the other one, the other half goes like that, and voila. Now the grill is actually shorter than this is, but I will show you the finished piece when I'm done. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys this, and now you know how to do backyard installer style, grills. Guys, have a good day.